Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome to my channel. My name is Tiffany, and today I wanted to talk about reframing and what to do when your mind starts a negative what if loop. I noticed at the beginning of this year that there were a lot of life reset videos, and it just brought me back to when I was trying to change my life in all the different areas. I've loved self-help and self-improvement for most of my life. It's always been really interesting to me. And I found that I would look to something external to be the catalyst for me to finally make the changes that I wanted. So I would hope that a new year or a new relationship or a new city or a new job, that would finally be the missing piece so that I could make the changes, because up until that point, the just do it, grind, grit your teeth attitude, that hadn't worked for me. So I wanted to make this video for anyone who struggled with that as well. It wasn't until I changed my focus to reframing my perspective and changing my beliefs that I really start to see drastic changes in my life. So reframing. One video that I think really illustrates this well, I saw it a few years ago, and it was an interview of Dax Shepard. He was telling a story about how a friend of his had come over to his house and had just, randomly pulled a journal off of his bookshelf that happened to be the log of every time that Dax had tried to quit using drugs or alcohol and failed. And Dax was so embarrassed and full of shame when he saw that journal, because to him it was a log of all of his failures.
It's really funny because my first thought when he's telling the story that he found that book is I'm embarrassed by that. Like, I'm embarrassed how many times I quit and couldn't do it.
Quit drinking or
quit drinking and drugs, yeah.
But his friend told him that for him, it was very inspiring, because what he saw was somebody that did not give up.
He starts crying while he's saying that, because I think he's been there too. And then I get really emotional, and I, for maybe the first time, am proud of myself that I didn't quit quitting.
Yeah.
When I first watched that video, it was really inspiring to me. I definitely have felt low for failing to reach my goals or fail to stick to a good new habit that I was trying to build. I'm sure everyone can relate. That video helped encourage me, and I'm going to encourage you to look at every time that you have failed at something. Instead of seeing it as just a failure, look at it as proof of someone that did not give up. This really applies for something that you have attempted repeatedly. For me, reframing how I felt, what I noticed, the thoughts, my experiences, everything. Reframing was a huge part of being able to actually follow through on the changes in my life that I wanted. Now, reframing is really important because it's much harder to simply remove a bad habit and have an empty space where that habit used to be, as opposed to replacing it with a new good habit. So an example is, rather than cutting out dessert that you're used to having every night, what if you replaced it with a piece of fruit? So one more thing that I wanted to touch on in this video is the what if loop. This is when our minds start to, in an attempt to protect us, it's not a perfect system, but it is trying to help us out. Our mind starts to think up all of the possible negative what ifs of what could happen. And this is especially for things that we feel fear or anxiety towards. What I recommend is to instead of trying to fight the motion that's already happening, the direction, simply slightly adjust, slightly redirect it, but allow your mind to keep doing what it was going to do. So what this means is adding positive what ifs to the loop. So for example, if I start having some negative what ifs around creating this video, for example, and some of those could be, what if the video turns out terrible? What if people judge me? What if no one watches? What if I embarrass myself? Instead of trying to make myself just stop, it works a lot better to say yes, and and then continue with positive what ifs. So again, for my case, it could be yes, and what if the video goes great? What if I have so much fun? What if I find that I love doing this? What if one person watches this and they feel really inspired? You can fill up your mind with the positive possibilities or the what ifs that could be happening as well. Over time, if you use the positive what if loop and the reframing techniques when you're dealing with negative thoughts, feelings, beliefs, you will find that your mind becomes better at identifying the positive spin for things. And I will say it over and over again on this channel that the way to change your life is to change your beliefs and to do inner work. And these two pieces I think are a great place to start. If you practice reframing and adding positive what ifs to the thoughts that fill your mind, over time you will find that you begin to notice the positive potentials in everything. And our beliefs, we're making them up anyways, so you might as well make them empowering. So that's all I had for today. If you are interested in one-on-one coaching, I will include my email in the description. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.